city girls at? North Miami where it all goes down. Heard it no pity where you at, and your dad don't know that you're so well lost and found. Still won't love, still love no one but herself.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Bees Unique and I'm back with another vid. And as you can probably already tell by the title, today's video is coronavirus part 2, conspiracy and theories. So, number 1, the first theory, conspiracy, whatever you want to call it. Some people believe that the 5G towers that have recently been installed around the world are the cause of this coronavirus. They're saying that, basically, let me explain what the 5G towers are first. So it's like the new mobile network signal that will allow the Wi-Fi to run faster and allow more people to connect to it at a given time. It's basically like 4G but the upgrade. So yeah, people think that these 5G towers, my bad, are the reason why people are dying. And basically they operate on radiation. So people are saying that the radiation is like manipulating people and making people believe whatever the media is portraying to them. They also believe that higher influences or people of like higher people with authority, let's say, are involved in these, including Bill Gates, and it's basically like an operation to control and suppress humanity. But I personally don't think that Bill Gates will be part of this whole thing, because for one, he seems to be like, my hands are ugly. Anyways, for one, he seems to be like a nice person. He helped fund the malaria vaccine. And on top of that, he has so much money. Like, he's one of the most powerful men in the world because he has so much money. So I just don't feel like he'll be involved in such a scandal when he already has enough money. He already has enough control that he doesn't need to gain more. However, maybe like he's got so much money, he's done everything that he can with his money, he's bored now and he's just looking for like the next thing to keep him busy. So maybe this whole trying to gain control is just like something else he can do to occupy his time, right? On top of that, people think that after a while they're going to introduce a vaccine, but the vaccine's actually chips that they're going to implant in people, so they can literally see everything you see, think, do, everything. And they also have the power to kill you by the click of a button. But that does not sound realistic to me. It just sounds like a movie. It sounds like maybe in this lockdown people have been watching too many movies and now they're thinking like in the mindset of a film. That would be a really good movie, not gonna care, but realistically. And to think about it this way, do you really think that if this was true, they would make it so obvious that they were installing these 5G towers? I personally feel like, I don't know about you, but if it was me, if I was doing something sketchy, I'd want to keep it on the low. I'd want to keep it a secret so that other people don't clock onto what I'm doing, right? So why would they so blatantly install the 5G towers? Don't you feel like they would tell people, oh, it's not 5G towers, it's something else? Or don't you think that they would just do it on the low? Do you actually think that they would make it so obvious if that was actually what was going on? But then again, maybe they're doing it on purpose, like they're purposely making it obvious for people to think, no, it's too obvious, that can't be true. I don't know. Leave it up to you to decide. Another thing, majority of the people who are dying from this coronavirus are elderly people. People like younger people without underlying health issues are not really dying from it, okay? So if this was all set up by the government to try and suppress people, to try and kill people, whatever people think that their motive behind this is, don't you think that they would target younger people instead of older people? Like, older people are more likely to just go with the flow. They're more likely to just be like, if this was what they're doing, okay. They can't, most elderly people can't really be bothered to put up a fight. Whereas younger people, they're more likely to rebel, they're more likely to catch on to everything, they're more likely to be like, no, we're not going with this, and then they'll try and like underline authority, right? So why will they be killing off elderly people instead of trying to target the younger people if they were actually behind this? I don't think it makes sense. Like, even if they're trying to keep younger people alive, they would kill a few younger people to try and evoke that fear in them to suppress them. But they wouldn't just kill off the elder. Again, open to interpretation. So number 2, some people believe that this was all set up by the climate change campaigners to try and decrease the amount of CO2 emission. So they planted the virus in China, a country that, like, a leading country with carbon dioxide emission, and they planted it there, and since then the amount of carbon dioxide emission has decreased by a quarter. So obviously this has proven effective, and then they decided, since it's been so effective, to release it worldwide. And this has been proven effective because the carbon dioxide emission worldwide has decreased drastically. However, it's thought that the virus got out of hand because it mutated and now they can't control it. So they didn't intend to kill for that many people to die, but then of course the virus mutated and now they can't control it. But I just don't think this is realistic because, yeah, it's been effective in decreasing the amount of carbon dioxide emission, but surely somebody would have come up with the thought that this is not an effective method, because after they find a vaccine for this virus, after the virus is then put under control and maybe eradicated, for example, things are just going to go back to the way that they were. So it's not like a long-term solution. So I just don't think that this makes sense. I feel like if they intended to decrease the amount of carbon dioxide emission in a more like forceful way, they would have come up with something different, not to introduce a virus that would force people to stay home for a while. They'll find a cure for it, and then people will just go about their business doing the same thing that they do. I don't think that's an effective way. I just don't think that makes any sense whatsoever. Maybe it would make more sense if they found a way to like cut off the carbon dioxide suppliers. Like, they, like, do you understand? I feel like there was not so many, but there would have been different methods for them to decrease the carbon dioxide emission in a more long-term, permanent way. That is not a smart idea, and I don't think that is right. So number 3, my third and final conspiracy theory. Some people believe that China created this virus and then they planted it in their country first to try and cover up the fact that they had done it, and then after a while they let it loose to other countries, and then once it had been released to other countries, they recovered like that. And they did this to kind of like boost their economy. So they've released coronavirus to other countries, and while them other countries are focusing on trying to deal with that, like finding a vaccine, trying to care for people, they are now boosting their economy. Like, currently China is supplying to the rest of the world because, like, the main focus in other countries, like the main focus in England, for example, is to try and control the virus. So they're not really thinking too much about boosting their economy, really. So yeah, China is using this as an opportunity to grow, to develop, to become market dominant, to become market dominant. And I just don't know about this one, because I just don't feel like they will go to the extent of creating a virus to try and boost their economy. They were already doing quite well prior to this, and on top of that, it's very risky because they could easily get busted, they could easily get found out. So I don't know if they would really take that risk to try and boost their economy. But then again, I don't know, it's up to you. Comment down below what you think, like, out of all of these, if you feel like one of these conspiracies are the truth, or if you feel like none of them are the truth, if you have a conspiracy theory, or if you think all of these conspiracy theories are just a whole bunch of lies and that the truth is how they tell it in the media. Comment down below, and also comment down below what other videos you want to see, or DM me on Instagram, message me on Snapchat, but let me know what you want to see, and I'll try to get it, and I will try to get it done. Okay, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys. Actually, I don't like the way the camera's positioned. Let's lower it a little bit. Move like a snake.